Hi, this is Janossy. In this short video, I'm going to explain to you what I had in mind when I created the projects that begin on page 35. These projects for Unit 1 are typical of the kinds of projects you'll find at the end of Units 2, 3, and in Unit 4. Research has indicated that you learn more effectively when you have to apply newly acquired knowledge and solve a problem or create a product that meets a certain requirement. So I've included projects at the end of each one of these units that help you do that, applying the knowledge that you gained within the unit. I had a couple of things specifically in mind when I created these projects. First of all, these provide assignable homework, and that homework involves you in activities that refer to the concepts and reinforce the concepts in the chapter. I assign different projects in each term so that students get a variety of experiences, all based on the material within the unit. These projects broaden and extend your knowledge also. Now there's background material provided with each project, and that background material is not provided within the chapter itself. For that reason, every student has to read every project. That is the top part of every project. Even if you're not assigned to do that project, it's required that you read through that preliminary material on the project so you gain that knowledge. Don't skip over the projects that you're not assigned to do, or you'll be lacking some of the material for the chapter itself. And finally, I composed these projects in a way that involved contemporary computer issues, and I drew on material from web resources and literature in the field. This makes the projects much more relevant to your life and to contemporary events and issues, and it leverages what the web can do in providing current information on these topics. That's why this workbook can be smaller than some traditional textbooks covering this field. The page count may be smaller than you'd expect to find in a more expensive textbook, but the coverage is even broader because, in a way that most textbooks don't do, I broadened the coverage of this through the use of web resources, carefully selected and combined with the readings in the projects. How to use these projects, I included this paragraph because it's really pretty important that students understand how these things work. It's important for you to know that all the projects contain live hyperlinks. That is, the projects don't generally stand by themselves. They refer to other things, web resources that are either reference in nature, or videos, or tutorials prepared by me or somebody else. These are all accessed, as you become familiar with in this chapter, with the symbol that occurs on the page. The top part of this symbol is a QR code, a quick response code, that you can scan with any mobile device, such as a smart cell phone, an iPad, an iPod, a tablet computer. QR code scanners are free. They exist in the Android market and the Apple market. If you equip your mobile device with this, you can see the videos and you can access all the web resources using your mobile device, meaning that you don't have to be tied to a computer in order to do the work in this course. However, if you don't have a smart mobile device accessible to you, this very short URL alias, which can be entered on the address line without any HTTP or 3Ws, is what you need to get to this video material for this same page. In fact, all that the QR code does is to encode the URL that you see here. That's an alias. It goes to a small piece of code that I can change at will, and that code points to the video resources. That's why I can keep these links always current, and I can design these links to be as compact as possible. These links lead to video tutorials that either I prepared or I've located and carefully checked out on YouTube or other places on the web that show you how to do the tasks that the projects require. In some cases, multiple things exist at this link, including a turnaround document such as you'll find in Project 1.1. That page is accessible to you in electronic form. It makes sense to access it in that form once you've completed the paper page with the kind of information that it's necessary for you to come up with. You can download that turnaround document and then use your word processor to insert the information. It's the electronic form of that document that I need to see. I've made the download documents accessible in a variety of formats. One of those 4 formats contained in the zip file that you download should work with your word processor. I would suggest, if you're using something other than Word, that you use the RTF file, or if you're using OpenOffice, you use the ODT file. They're all the same information content, but I've made them available in different formats so that you can use whichever one works the best with your own word processor. Take note of the fact that I composed these projects to be very rich in help and resources. I think modern technology provides the ability to give students help right where they need it, right where it's most relevant, associated with each page. That's why I'm really thrilled that QR codes have come along as a development that make it possible to move beyond static text, to have printed text that I think is most convenient for students to use, but to tie each page directly to video and web resources that help you learn the topic covered on that page. This, I think, is a development that, if we exploit, will make it possible for much less expensive learning materials to serve purposes much better than the old expensive textbooks that I think at this point are really becoming obsolescent. That's just my personal opinion, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is Jim Janossy. I hope you enjoyed the projects in this chapter and in the succeeding units in the workbook, and in the capstone unit, which is Unit 4.